Okay, someone asked, and I'm going to do it. It is signs and their insecurities, specifically in relationships, but it's just naturally their insecurities that might even appear. So first off, let's get into Aries. Aries, it is your ego and how easily it can get hurt because specifically it's more with their actions. A lot of their actions are tied to their emotions. So if they feel like they're invalidated or their inner child is invalidated, they're gonna feel some type of way. They don't need that. They don't need that stress on them. Sustainability for a good old Taurus, and honestly feeling like they don't have anything that they can, you know, be calm with. Like they don't even need to like necessarily grow in major ways or anything like that. They just want secure, stable. So if they don't feel like that, then they're gonna be tripping out. Shout out. For Gemini, it's about not being perceived as hardworking and or feeling like you're being underestimated, especially in a relationship. Like you guys want to feel like because you are a very multifaceted being, and when you do pick that one thing you want to really get good at or feel like you can express yourself through, um, they don't want to be seen as mediocre, you know, like they didn't go out trying and being the best at what they do or whatever they want to do. And like also whatever, like in a relationship, so it's like being seen as not committed or like you're not loyal is also very hard for a Gemini. For Cancers, it's feeling like putting shame onto their emotional expression and making like them feel like their emotions aren't valid at all. um like feeling like they can't express themselves or feeling like they're being too much. They don't want to be seen as crazy. They're not crazy, they're just emotional. There's nothing wrong with that. Let them talk their shit. Like, it's okay, Cancer. Don't let them call you none of that shit. Yeah, like don't ever make a Cancer feel like irrational. Like they're ruled by the moon. Like it's just like don't make them feel like, you know, like they're crazy for being emotional. Like their shit's valid. For Leo, it is like feeling like life isn't entertaining. Feeling like that relationship isn't giving you the excitement and appreciation you feel like you deserve. It feels like if someone isn't appreciative of you or feel like you also aren't entertaining, then it can be a little difficult for a Leo to want to continue. They might end up making like a big change or something to free them from, whatever. Yeah, just that feeling of like life is ordinary, like it's a mundane, the relationship isn't satisfying them, you know? Virgo, it's when you feel like you aren't like, or the areas you don't feel skilled at, feeling like you're incompetent, feeling like you aren't in control of something, feeling like you're being seen learning something, because Virgo's always going to get good at the thing that they want to be good and known as, but it's harder for them to be perceived like they don't know what they're doing or that they're unskilled or that they're not talented, even though they probably really are, just at something else. But still it can be, they love to learn. It's just they don't want to be seen as learning or feeling like they are incompetent. Like, come on. For Libra, it's feeling like disappointing someone or like feeling like they can't satisfy everybody, specifically in a relationship, like feeling like they can't also satisfy themselves while satisfying someone else. And if they feel like that this person is going to be satisfied or happier, better off without them in their life, then a Libra hates that feeling. Like they hate feeling like they can't, because if you fuck up their scales, if they fuck up their balance, then they're gonna feel some type of way and feel like they can't, you know, probably be in the relationship. They like a sustainable, relationship too. Something that is balanced, full of equal give and take. Scorpios, for you, it is betrayal, feeling like you being backstabbed or being like, the rug being pulled from right underneath you. Like, they are very observational, emotionally aware. So if they feel like they are trusting someone and they end up betraying them, then they feel like crazy. That's why usually Scorpios are more likely to hold a grudge. Like, they hate being betrayed. Yeah, like if Scorpio was Jesus, they hate Judas. Like, they would not be as chill as Jesus was when he was like, I know when you guys are gonna betray me. Like, a Scorpio would hate to find out you betrayed them or you are going to. They hate that. For Capricorn, it's like, for them, it's if their dreams, needs, and wants are accessible. Like, they love building towards a goal, something achievable, especially towards their career. And so if they feel like there's a roadblock or something stopping them from getting toward that goal, Capricorn is going to feel some type of way. They will probably make something happen to allow them to get into whatever structure that they need to have that, but or say what they need to say. But still, a Capricorn can feel like they just hate, like, feeling like they can't get to their goals. Like, that's really, so if you the relationship also isn't you know great, then a Sagittarius might drop you, or feel like it's too much, which is also hard for them to find commitment sometimes, but that's like fine. For Sagittarius, it's about their narrative, and if they feel like they're in the wrong narrative, or their own truth, and how they end up viewing their own story. Like, if they feel too like their narrative isn't necessarily describing who they actually are, and their own personal truth is like not what they want to live by, or feeling like it's not a good truth, in that kind of way. Like, just feeling like they could be living the wrong story, like, you know in that regard. For Aquarius, I would say it's like betraying your individuality, your authentic self, feeling like you crossed a moral, line that you also had, or feeling like something is taking away from you and you can't be yourself. And that, that is a really big, like, insecurity of Aquarius. It's their agency, they love that. Give it to them. For Pisces, it's feeling complex, feeling like their emotions or their idea of themselves and or someone else's opinion of them is overwhelming them on, emotionally. They don't need to feel like, someone else is impeding on how they hate complex emotions. Don't give them too much emotions at once, because they still like to feel and go through each emotion. Like, that's very Pisces. But you can't overwhelm them, making them complex and feeling like it's too much, or they have to overthink themselves, which isn't, kind to a Pisces. Finally, I think this really all cycles back into the cycle of how astrology works, or at least how each sign kind of leads into each other and goes back. As Pisces is disillusionment, this is dissolvement into the collective again. After, being Aquarius, which is about the collective, knowing what a human is. Pisces is about feeling what it is to be human, understanding, feeling the collective, and then going back into being a child, which is Aries, which is the beginning of the cycle again. It is a fire sign. It is the start. It is the igniter. It is emotions tied to actions, and how it is important to Aries. You see the loop? Do you see the loop? But that's just me though. But yeah, it was a really great question, by the way, the person that asked me. So I hope you give me more. This is kind of fun.